Hey everyone, let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like your mind is just constantly racing? Like it literally never sits still? One minute, you're stressing over an email from work. The next, you're replaying some awkward conversation from 5 years ago. Or, worrying about a future that hasn't even happened yet. Well, if you're feeling that way, you are definitely not alone. Honestly, it is the absolute core of the human condition. Today in this explainer, we're going to unpack some really fascinating source material. We'll trace some deeply profound teachings to give you a practical, real-world toolkit for mental clarity. We're going to move from abstract concepts straight into a highly specific, actionable guide for training your mind. So let's dive right in. So, here is our roadmap for today. First, non-negligence in life. Second, the law of karma today. Third, Sati, the true refuge. Fourth, purifying the mind. Fifth, starting Vipassana meditation. And finally, number 6, understanding form and mind. All right, let's kick things off with section 1, non-negligence in life. Think about it. Our lives are basically like spinning gears, right? They're constantly in motion from birth to old age, literally never stopping for a single second. Our physical bodies are just ticking forward. And recognizing that reality, the Buddha delivered this incredibly hard-hitting quote. He said, "A negligent person is like a dead person." Now, that sounds intense, right? Almost like a gut punch, but it highlights a really profound truth. If we just drift through life without awareness, letting days blur together without actually recognizing what's happening right in front of us, it's virtually the same as not being alive. Existing without awareness means you aren't truly living. Actually, pause for a quick second. How are you sitting right now? Seriously, check in. Are your shoulders slumped? Are you furrowing your brow? Exactly. That sudden realization, that little jolt of noticing, that is what Sati or mindfulness is all about. People think it means you have to be sitting quietly in a temple with your eyes closed, but it doesn't. True Sati means having awareness in every single motion, whether you're bending down to tie your shoe, chewing your lunch, taking a step, or even just blinking. Catching yourself in every action, that is the true definition of living with non-negligence. Moving on to section 2, the law of karma today. So we all carry this invisible baggage around with us. Buddhism refers to this as karma, and it completely dictates our current physical and mental baseline. It's the hand we're dealt right now. So the big question that pretty much everyone naturally asks is, can we erase our past karma? Like, if we've done something we really regret, can some ritual or magic spell just wipe the slate clean? Well, the source material is crystal clear on this. The answer is no. There is no magic eraser for our past actions. But the source uses a remarkably powerful analogy to explain how we actually deal with it. Imagine your past karma is a house you've already built, but you built it using rotten, inflexible wood. If your current physical and mental state is like that fragile house, you can't just travel back in time and swap out the old timber, right? But, and here's the game changer, you have 100% control over your present karma. You can choose to start building new, good actions today, literally right this very second. You can start adding strong, high-quality materials to your life. That is the only real way to deal with karma, taking total charge of the present moment. Which brings us to section 3, Sati, the true refuge. Now, since we are bound by this unavoidable law of cause and effect, you might be wondering, well, where can we possibly find shelter from all this chaos? The answer is that maintaining constant mindfulness, Sati, becomes our ultimate dependable refuge. When we have continuous Sati, it acts like a shield, completely protecting the mind from restlessness, and it builds this incredible step-by-step foundation. It starts with Sila, which is basic morality and keeping your behavior balanced. That naturally evolves into Samadhi, which is deep, unbroken concentration, and ultimately the whole thing blossoms into Panna, true wisdom. Sati is absolutely the core practice that anchors that entire process. Let's look at section 4, purifying the mind. Okay, so how do we actually go about cleansing all that accumulated inner baggage to reach that wisdom? In various traditions, you'll often see rituals where people wash their physical bodies in secret rivers to cleanse themselves of wrongdoings. But Buddhism takes a totally different approach. The source points out this really fascinating contrast. Water can certainly wash a dirty physical body, for sure, but it can't even touch a clouded mind. The only way to truly wash an impure mind, to actually scrub away those mental impurities, is through the practice of Vipassana meditation. It's the ultimate internal purification system. And that leads us to section 5, starting Vipassana meditation.
So we're diving straight into the practical how-to manual for this insight meditation. There are 4 very precise physical steps to get the correct posture. Ready? First, sit with your right leg crossed over your left. Second, rest your right hand over your left hand, right in your lap. Third, keep your body entirely straight. This is crucial to maintain your alertness. And fourth, gently close your eyes and just begin to observe. Boom. That sets your physical foundation perfectly. But honestly, once the body is set, organizing the mind is even more critical. You literally have to consciously leave your home, your family, and your daily worries completely behind. Just drop them at the door. Interestingly, the source gives some brilliant advice here. Do not meditate seeking physical comfort. Why? Because the human body inherently lacks true comfort. If you feel pain or your leg goes numb, just observe it. Don't fight it. Don't mentally complain about it. Treat that physical pain and any distracting thoughts that pop up merely as neutral passing clouds. Let go of the past, let go of the future, and just anchor yourself to this exact present moment.
Finally, Section 6, Understanding Form and Mind. As we move inward to the psychological core of the practice, we hit this fundamental truth. Every single human experience happens at one of 6 doors. These are the 6 sense bases: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and thought. Think about it. Whether you see a bright light, hear a car honking outside, or suddenly remember an old memory, it all happens through one of these channels. And these exact doors, that is where the true analytical work of Vipassana happens. That is where the magic happens, where wisdom is actually born.
To really develop that wisdom, we have to categorize our experiences. Let's start with a concept called rupa, which translates to form. Now, rupa doesn't just mean a physical 3D shape. It represents the sensory object itself. It's any physical sensation or external input that hits you. The sound of a dog barking, a sudden ache in your knee, the smell of coffee brewing in the kitchen. All of these external inputs and physical sensations get tossed into this single bucket called rupa. It's simply the thing being observed. On the flip side, we have nama. Nama is the mind, the awareness, or the internal act of knowing that sensory input. So when a sound happens, nama is the mind's act of hearing it. When pain flares up, nama is the mind realizing, oh, that hurts. Tracking this constant split-second interplay between form, the input, and mind, the awareness, is the absolute essence of Vipassana. It's like watching a tennis match. You just watch them interact, over and over and over. And when you continuously observe this process, this interaction between form and mind, you eventually reach the ultimate goal. You develop panna, that profound wisdom we talked about. You realize 3 universal truths. First, anicca, everything is impermanent and constantly changing. Second, dukkha, everything is inherently dissatisfactory and just can't maintain its state. And third, anatta, everything is non-self, completely out of our ultimate control. Grasping this reality on a deep level is exactly what brings true mental freedom. So from all the insights we've traced today, you now have a highly practical toolkit right in your hands. But here is the critical question I want to leave you with. Will you continue to sleepwalk through your life, bound by old habits and past karma? Or will you use Sati to finally wake up to the present? The choice is entirely up to you. Try taking this awareness off the screen right now and applying it to your very next breath.